お帰りなさいませ。
Oh my gosh, what did I just watch Tappei? Why are you Tappeiing things, man? Tappei the Tappei. Oh my gosh. Okay, so new episode of Vivy, episode 8. I'm catching up to try to get to episode 10. We might end up posting episode 10 early, and then you might end up watching this a bit later, like a couple of days later. But oh my freaking gosh, what the heck am I watching right now? Okay, so we get to Olivia's backstory. She's barely getting any applause. She's being yelled at backstage by this big robot dude. His name's Antonio. Antonio seems to be very passionate about her singing and very passionate about wanting her to do better. He is a, as we hear later on in the episode, cranky person. I was worried that I saw a little bit of myself in Antonio as he was going back and forth, wanting people to be more confident in themselves. As he said, her singing is perfect. She just needs more confidence. Let's. I don't know if I see so much of myself in them towards the end. Just that beginning part of one of your friends do their best and being very passionate about it to the point you're a little grumpy. The new future we see, because it kind of branches off, we see Olivia, but we also see somebody else on the ground with her. We don't just see Ophelia, I said Olivia. Ophelia on the ground. We also see somebody else, or at least it looks like the image of somebody else. And I think I have an idea now since the end of the episode. So it looks like I have to ask a question. Are we just still killing another sister and we're just changing how the death is seen? We're not actually like trying to save Ophelia. We're just trying to make the death look different than a suicide that would make them contemplate whether or not they have souls, which is what happens, as Matsumoto tells us. When she kills herself, people start to wonder and debate whether or not they have souls, because you have to wonder, they're supposed to be programmed to go to their mission, their goal, what they're supposed to do. And if they're able to contemplate the fact that, one, they can have despair, two, have no hopes in the future, and three, feel like there's no other answer but the end, well, these are contemplations that humans would have, not something that is built in order to just make one purpose and do it. So at that point, people start to debate and wonder, and then now AIs start to get more integrated with society, which would be the problem here. However, I don't really trust Matsumoto, so it's kind of like, I'm not so sure if that was truly the problem, because wouldn't that make more unity? It always seems like he's just like, okay, AI and humans can't be close together, because the moment they are, the AI will switch. Like, it will just turn around and go back on them. But we'll get a little bit more, right? So, Diva is actually trying to save Ophelia mentally, while Matsumoto is just trying to save her right now, which is also the point that leads up to the fact that I don't really know if we're really trying to save this sister or we're just trying to prevent her from killing herself now. When Diva specifically is talking to Matsumoto, she specifically has to lay down the fact, like, if we don't tell her or deal with the root problem, she might just end up back here again, and all he keeps saying is, well, we just need to save her the moment she's about to jump. So, we also see that in Matsumoto's eyes, even without Diva having her memory, she is still the same person to the core, which is another curious take, because again, a lot of this has been showing whether or not AIs have souls, whether or not they are actual people, and with this amnesia she has at the moment, she's still Vivy to Matsumoto, still stubborn, still not listening, and still the same in her core to him. As we get more backstory, because Diva goes straight to Ophelia to try to talk to her, she's extremely blunt about it. Do you feel like there's something that was so bad you want to kill yourself? I was like, Jesus Christ, man, just, whoa, slow down. But then she kind of gives us a backstory. Ophelia walks over to this site where we see Antonio, the robot, who was at every one of her shows and did the best to try to make sure that her shows were well and really believed in her, shut down mysteriously 5 years ago, and people aren't sure why. So Vivy tells her that, I'm sure Antonio did not tell you to keep that face when things are going wrong. Make sure to smile for him. She puts one of his flowers on her head. You know, it was almost like a pseudo little romance thing going there between her and Antonio in the memory. It was almost like Romeo and Juliet if one of them ended up living instead. Just maybe not that analogy, but the point is it almost had like that kind of like, oh my gosh, it's so great. Or you could say a teacher, student. I'm not so sure. It's up to how you saw it. In my brain, I saw it with the romance sense. In a sense, maybe I just found it more interesting with the fact that he doesn't look like a human. He looks more like a robot as an AI, and she does not. So that was about it. Or if he even counts as an AI, I'm not so sure about that one. Also, we see Matsumoto. She shows him the face finally. She shows him who the guy was, and it was the terrorist guy. And it's in. So I want to put this on note. It's in her visual files, so she can see him, and Matsumoto sees him there as well. Now, he also does not have him in his in her records or whatever, or no, in the history records. So it makes me wonder how accurate is Matsumoto? You know, how accurate, how well can he actually predict the future at this point? So we see later, Diva is also talking to Matsumoto about the fact that as Ophelia is singing, that again we need to hit the root problem. And Matsumoto starts talking a bit more about him being like an AI, and then Diva starts to call him out for the fact that he's technically going around his programming too. And it made me wonder, what if this future, like this guidance we're supposed to be getting, isn't actually for a better future? What if Matsumoto is following his own wishes? What if he's jealous of the fact that he can't actually do is what Vivy is doing, is taking other steps to get around to their goal and actually kind of having a like a soul in a sense, versus the way that he is forced to just try and go and save the future. However, the rest of the episode makes me think otherwise, but I just wanted to mention my thoughts there. I thought that was quite of an interesting thought, because right after that we see the fact that he kept going out of his way to save Vivy, even when he realizes, spoiler alert, or not spoiler alert, you're watching this, you get my point, later alert, Vivy sees the guy again and goes down to go chase him, but as Matsumoto looks at the screen, he's not there. Now, I think it's just because the screen was hacked, as I saw, or as he said later. I'm not so sure if Vivy was hallucinating. So it's either it was hacked or it was hallucinating. One or the other. I have to see next episode, and I'm about to go watch that right now. But Matsumoto, as he's debating where he needs to go, he goes, do I need to go do the mission to go save Ophelia, or do I need to go save Vivy? And he's contemplating it, which is different in a step than his other things. We've seen him be a very cold, calculated robot where he literally forces Vivy to watch the person that she loved most die, right? But is he starting to have more of a soul? Like, it's very strange. Like, where does the soul start and the AI programming begin? You know, I like that it's trying to keep it as muddied as possible, so you have to kind of make your own opinion about it. Anyways, he goes to go save Ophelia, and as he goes to go talk to Ophelia, he basically lays down everything. Like, he just says all of it bluntly. He's like, you know, you lost somebody who's really important to you, and this is causing you to go to the place where you feel like your life isn't worth anything. As an AI, I can't contemplate how you would get there, because you're an AI, I'm an AI, it's weird. But this probably isn't the course of action you want to take. And it was nice to see that this is where his character is gone. Like, he is reasoning. He's not forcing, because he could just force it. He has more versions of himself or more cubes. And as he says to her, also very important note, he says, this is not my complete form. He says that. So I have to wonder what his complete form is. Every time I've watched anime and I hear complete forms, it's never a good thing. Or any video game or RPG I've ever played, it's never a good thing when someone reaches their final form. All the protagonists never reach their final form. See, that's the truth in protagonist-ish, is make sure you don't reach your final form. And then so after he says that, as he's talking to her, it turns out, because we get like this shocking like turn of voice, like her voice just suddenly gets a lot deeper, like ada levels of deeper, and then she's going on to talk more and more, and it turns out that she was actually hacked by Antonio. And I'm not gonna lie, I got the "it's me" Dio vibes from that. But I was in complete shock and immediately had to run over here to make sure I recorded this so I can get to episode 9 and we can get to episode 10 already, so I can be on time. So please, let me know what you enjoyed about this episode. If this comes out later, then I'm sorry that this came out later before episode 10. If it comes out on time before episode 10, then please just let me know what you're thinking. Like, this is insane. This episode was so good. Also, I think I found one of my favorite robots, or AI out of the group. I think Ophelia, if Ophelia is still herself and not just Antonio, is one of my favorite robots. I feel like that personal problem of her being wildly depressed but trying to live up to the expectation of somebody she should really valued is something I feel like I can more relate to. Also, she's cute. So that's about it. I'm going to catch you all later. Peace. It's not waifu bots, alright? Leave me alone. Baka Eagle out. So, somehow, I guess I was so excited, I missed a very important part. So, if you're wondering why I went, oh, wait, he just said bye, but he actually stayed around. I missed the ending scene, which was I think his name is Kakitani, the terrorist guy. We see his backstory when he was talking about playing the piano with an AI in the last I think episode 7. And we see that he wanted to emulate his AI teacher who was doing, like, he was like crazy good at playing the piano. He said he wanted to be a pianist like how every kid wants to when they grow up. So clearly it was something he was very passionate about. And they get into a car accident, it seems. And his piano AI is going around. He gets him out of the fire. And then he's like, wait, you're just a piano teacher. Just stay here. I wanted you to keep playing with you. There's no need for you to, do anything else. And he goes, well, actually, my mission is to make sure that everybody can hear me play the piano or enjoy it and be happy while they're hearing me play the piano. So for that case, I need to go save everyone so I can make sure that they can hear it. And this goes back to what I was saying beforehand with the fact that they can technically still choose how they get to their goal. Yes, they're robots. Yes, they're AI. But just like humans, though you still have an ultimate goal, you can choose how you get there. And so we see him pull a couple people out of the car. We see him pull out a girl with black hair. And I was wondering, I was like, was it maybe Ophelia? But I don't think it was. Especially because I don't know about. Well, I was about to say AI is being knocked out, but then again, I've seen one of Vivy's sisters get knocked out, so and then as he's looking through the wreckage on the top of a bus, the bus explodes and he turns into a million pieces and falls apart. And then we see back where Diva is, with Kakitani, as he has Diva tied up, and he goes, "Oh, it's been a long time, Vivy." And I'm not so sure he's aware that this is not the same AI at the moment. But we get, like, that was such an interesting backstory and also very sad. Like, that was just kind of sad. He didn't even have a face. That's the other sad part, too. And I know this is Tappei writing. So Tappei is probably he's making us to pay for this, for watching it. I don't know. I couldn't think of anything. I had something that was really kind of funny before this, but I don't have it now. And there's probably something about him, that AI being faceless without having his own face, but still choosing to make his own actions. It's probably some depth. All right, now I'm going. I'll catch you later. Goodbye. Oops.